Once upon a time, Greg got a VIP invitation to the boss's office. The secretary, playing detective, warns Greg to chill in the office chair because the boss is on a coffee break. Greg sits, but when the boss storms back and drops the bomb about his job termination, Greg is in his own world, literally. As the boss checks on Greg's pulse, our man here turns into a secret agent, pushing the boss into a surprise trip to the floor. Boom! The boss is out cold, and Greg, panicking like a squirrel in a nut store, hides the body behind a curtain. The secretary, walking in at the wrong moment, thinks the boss is just fashionably late. Greg makes a grand exit, promising to return like a hero from a coffee break. He hits a bar, orders a drink, and suddenly becomes the star of the show. A mysterious woman, claiming she's the puppet master of this crazy world, hooks Greg's attention. She's got telekinetic skills, and she's seen Greg's little boss escapade. This mastermind lady asks Greg to fetch her boyfriend's blingy yellow crystals from the restroom, promising to clear his name in the process. Greg, being the gem he is, retrieves the crystals from the snoozing boyfriend. The lady spills the cosmic beans, explaining the world is like a mind-bending disco of neurons.
In response to her plea, the woman gently clasps Greg's hands, unraveling a revelation. The world, a mere interplay of light dancing upon human neurons, holds a malleable essence waiting to be reshaped.
Meanwhile, the boss's lifeless body takes a spontaneous leap out of the office window, catching the attention of the office crew. Greg, the smooth operator, rushes in, and thanks to his bar exit strategy, no one suspects him. The lady whisks Greg away, and he's ready to retrieve his ID and cash stash. But hold on. The lady convinces him to pawn his phone for peanuts. On TV, breaking news suggests the boss's fall was a dance move gone wrong, making Greg a free bird. The lady invites him to her tent city dojo under the bridge, where they're the telekinesis power couple. She coaches him in the art of mind tricks, and Greg spills his dreams of a dream home, which he sketches like a preschooler on candy. The lady recognizes herself in the drawings, claiming they're a real couple, even though Greg's memory is on vacation, forgetting her name, Isabel. Meanwhile, Emily seeks solace with her brother Arthur, imploring his assistance in the quest to find their estranged father. Arthur, however, harbors reluctance, scarred by a father consumed by work, oblivious to his children. Amidst this family drama, Greg and Isabel dive into a roller skating escapade, fueled by the influence of yellow crystals. Isabel, challenging the fabric of reality, asserts the unreality of those around them, proposing a whimsical game of knocking people down. Initially hesitant, Greg succumbs to the allure of telekinetic power, amusing himself and Isabel until boredom beckons. Their antics escalate as they teleport into a police car, transforming the station into their playground, an escapade they abandon once the novelty wears thin. Simultaneously, Emily tirelessly scours nearby hotels in her relentless pursuit of her vanished father, encountering only disappointment. Isabel, suggesting a mundane diversion, tasks Greg with ordering food while she disappears. Unbeknownst to Greg, his son witnesses Isabel's enigmatic behavior, leaving him with an unintended label of a destitute patron. Isabel's suggestion leads the couple to Kendo, a crystal synthesizing wizard. The couple diverges. Isabel delves into Kendo's abode while Greg, the unwitting protagonist, awaits her arrival. A poignant encounter unfolds as Emily finds her father, forgiving his past transgressions and extending a lifeline with a photo and home phone number. Yet, familial bliss is disrupted as Isabel, fueled by her enigmatic agenda, implores Greg to disown his daughter. A local hooligan interjects, setting the stage for a telekinetic spectacle as Greg flips the hooligan's car. Morning light reveals an absent Isabel, prompting Greg's pursuit. In his search, Greg stumbles upon a relic of reality, his daughter's photograph, adorned with a phone number. A futile attempt to contact Emily ensues at a payphone, met with Isabel's vexation upon his return. The revelation shatters Greg's reality. Emily, deemed a mere simulation. Isabel, armed with blue crystals, orchestrates their escape from the illusion. With reassurances from Isabel, the couple ventures into a mysterious room where individuals, tethered to a computer, experience a simulated existence. Isabel, now Dr. Clemens, reveals the consequences of Greg's immersion in the simulation. Kendo pulling through with those blue crystals was a real game-changer. Isabel spots a guy in the simulation she ran into before and decides it's time to cut off Dr. Whitla. The guy dashes to Greg like he's got a date with destiny. Greg, in his quest for answers, discovers that Emily is also a top-notch imitation. They step out, and suddenly, Greg's jaw drops at the stunning sights. Beautiful folks and weird see-through figures are all over, or as Isabel calls it, a fancy term, telepresence. People have upped their game by remotely showing off their looks, finding joy in interaction while lounging at home. Isabel takes Greg to the waterfront, and he's all wide-eyed, wondering why this beauty hasn't been etched in his memory. She casually assures him that memory loss is just a small glitch, soon to be patched up. The grand tour continues as she showcases their pad, leaving Greg to think, wait, was I drawing reality all along? Meanwhile, Emily's still in the virtual scavenger hunt for her dad, who's busy chowing down in his real digs with the missus. Come evening, Isabel spills the beans about her hasty exit from the simulation, blaming it on a shortage of those precious blue crystals, the real MVPs for memory revival. Back in the day, the real world was a dumpster fire of pollution and poverty, but thanks to automation, synthetic biology, and asteroid mining, voila, paradise. Isabel digs up Greg's old invention, the thought visualizer, conjuring up a monitor that sketches whatever pops into one's noggin. Greg puts it to the test, naming stuff, and bam, it's on the screen. With his genius assist, Isabel spills the beans. Synthetic biology handled nature's woes, and asteroid mining made everyone filthy rich. Each person gets a cool $500,000 a year, and robots clock in for the boring grind. People now flex their freedom muscles, finally having time for hobbies. Earth's now a safe and cushy crib, but, as expected, folks get comfy in the lap of luxury. That's why Isabel cooked up the brain box, a reality check to appreciate the good stuff and not turn into couch potatoes. Greg, feeling the vibes, pleads with the missus for one more day in paradise, promising a yacht hangout and sea splashes. The evening takes a turn to the city, where a scientist, all concerned about Isabel's shenanigans, corners Greg, asking to play watchdog. The next morning, Isabel drags Greg back to the brain box, insisting she needs to wrap up her research. Greg, being the rebel he is, protests, claiming she's got enough data and he's not keen on revisiting that crazy world. They strike a deal. He'll give her a public interview instead. Come evening, they host a brain box presentation where the host hypes up Isabel as the brain box brainiac who cooked up the idea of simulating bad worlds for folks to compare life's highs and lows. Isabel decides it's showtime and calls Greg to the stage for a before and after comparison of his brain box experience. Turns out, the old Greg was a grumpy cynic, unhappy with pretty much everything. The new Greg? Mr. Sunshine, pleased as punch with life. But plot twist. During the interview, Greg spots Emily in the hall, freezes like a popsicle, she disappears, and he gives Isabel a grateful nod. Cue a queue of fans wanting a piece of the genius Isabel, while Greg's on a mission chasing after translucent Emily. Emily, playing the sentimental card, reminds Greg of his kids who apparently adore him. Greg, playing the skeptic, insists she's not real. Daughter drops sweet childhood memories, playing the emotional trump card, asking him to pick a world to stay in. Meanwhile, chaos unfolds below. Isabel's caught in the eye of a storm, realizing something's gone haywire. She yells for Greg, Emily disappears, reappears, and Greg, in superhero mode, whips out a yellow crystal, parting the crowd like Moses with the Red Sea. Isabel's flabbergasted. These powers weren't supposed to work in the real world. But wait, there's more. Real-world commotion kicks off, blending realities like a mixed drink. The couple dashes to the laboratory, discovering their incomplete dose of blue crystals dragged some simulation baggage into the real world. Urgent fix needed, but blue crystals are MIA. Back in the chairs, back in the simulation. Isabel calls Greg to find Kendo, leading him to a bar by his old office. Surprise! Former colleagues and the boss who played window gymnastics are alive. Greg demands answers. Isabel yanks him away, reminding him it's all a fabrication. They commit a little robbery for car and cash to buy those elusive blue crystals. Off to Kendo's lab. Kendo agrees, but a sketchy move makes Isabel shoot, revealing Kendo's unarmed. She snags a packet of blue crystals, they bolt, and the police join the party. Emily and Bro get wind of their dad's sighting, team up, and head to the tent camp. Police surround, demanding surrender. Isabel counts crystals, disastrous count, only one. A one-way ticket home. She hands Greg a device. He suggests a dramatic exit, but Isabel's unsure. She breaks down, confessing she's the puppet master of all this. Plot twist. Greg realizes this world's not half bad. He's got kids here. Emily begs him to stay alive, and Greg decides to stay put. Isabel steps into the spotlight, distracting the police. Greg slips away, and she takes off with the crystals, using the noise of passing cars as her cover. Greg ends up in a rehab clinic for folks like him, shares his tale about a girl calling him dad, and believes in the crazy twist. Sometime later, he finds Emily in a park, She's thrilled he conquered his issues, admits she loves him,